This way?
Okay.
That way?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. And the mic's on, and we're connected. What are you doing over there, by the way? Don't go type crazy on me, okay? All right. So I'm gonna hit, what are the points I'm gonna hit? Basically, get on Snapchat, 100 million active, 11% or roughly 30 million. And then I was gonna hit like, I was gonna hit geo filters, ways to implement it in a regular, like on a regular basis is what I wanted to do. So let's do regular basis usage, Y, and then geo filters as an advertising potential. This is a space that people should be like paying attention to right now, and it's growing. It's out of its infancy kind of thing. Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Phil Corey, and in this video, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about Snapchat. No, not a little bit, the whole video is gonna be about Snapchat. Hey everyone, I'm Phil Corey, and in this video, I'm gonna talk to you about Snapchat. So there are a couple of key elements about Snapchat that make it really, really important. But one of the first things I want to drive home is that if you have not played with Snapchat yet, you absolutely must. This is becoming a very popular social network as I see it. Right now we have about 30 million active US-based users that we can tell from the numbers that Snapchat has delivered. It's probably much more than that at this point. But over 100 million active daily users worldwide, which is a ton of people that you need to be in front of if you can. There's a lot of research showing that Snapchat is really ramping up rather quickly. So this is something that I want to present to you as an option for getting in front of your following or the people who are interested in your business. And so there's a big stigma around Snapchat, what it is, how to use it, what it was really used for. And I want to kind of talk about that a little bit because we can't get emotionally, tied off from a social network or a service just because we think it's being used for one thing, when in reality it can generate revenue. A lot of people get very emotional about how they make business decisions, and they hear a story or they hear, Snapchat's being used by kids to send, dirty pictures to each other or something like that. It's kind of ridiculous assumption that that's all it's good for. So I want to kind of break away from that. And one of the other main things here with that is, the kids that were using Snapchat in 2011, 2012 when it came out, they're older now. They might have been 17 at that point in time, but 5 years later, 4 years later, they're in their early 20s. They're consumers. They're buying products. So, and this is how they connect. I know a ton of people in that age range who don't have Instagram, who don't have Facebook. And I'm not saying that you should abandon Instagram and Facebook for Snapchat or anything like that. But in addition to those platforms, especially if your crowd is the 35 and under that you're trying to sell to, this is a major opportunity for revenue. And it's not direct like you might think it is. So I want to kind of break a couple of things down first. So first and foremost, there is no social networking aspect to Snapchat. You can't just go on and find people the way you can on Facebook or search for people through hashtags like the way that you can on Instagram. It's a little bit more driven by your other social media channels or direct contact. So make sure that you're promoting it in the business, in your place of business, or on your other social media channels if you want to kind of grow your following, so to speak, on Snapchat. The other main point with Snapchat is that content disappears. So it's there for maybe 24 hours if you add it to your story, or if you're sending direct Snapchats, which I don't really recommend for promotional purposes, but maybe for direct conversations, it's really very good. The content is there only for a short period of time. So it's very conversational in the normal sense of like you and I might be having a conversation, and when we're done talking, that conversation doesn't follow us around on the internet like it would on Facebook. Content on Facebook or Instagram is kind of permanent where content on Snapchat is very, passing. It's there today and it's literally gone tomorrow. So this gives us the opportunity to kind of fill in the cracks as I see it from Facebook and Instagram, where we're really doing more promoted content, to being much more real, getting much deeper in our storytelling and that level that we're connecting with the people who are following our business or the people who are interested in our products and services. So this is a very key component. I think that it's a huge growth marketplace for a lot of people to get into right now and start working on. It's still very early stages in terms of growth. There aren't a ton of people on it like there are on Instagram or Facebook, but we are very rapidly approaching that time. So I really encourage you to take time, get in some, get on YouTube, watch some videos on how to use Snapchat, watch some videos on, the different aspects of it, and then kind of, play with it a little bit for yourself. There are some other things that are kind of greater implication for advertising, and something that Snapchat is doing right now, which is you can buy geo filters. So if you go to snapchat.com, as of right now, right on the top of their website, you'll be able to see a place that you can buy geo filters. And this is becoming a very popular way to advertise, especially because of the cost, the relative cost to other advertising platforms, such as, Google AdWords, which is, again, probably one of our more expensive options as advertisers, Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, they all work very well. But geo filters are basically, you take an image, you take a video on Snapchat, you can swipe left or right, and you're going to be able to see different filters. So if you're in wonderful Bangor, Pennsylvania, where we are right now, there may be a geo filter for the entire city. But if you're out in California, the filter is going to be, for San Diego perhaps, or whatever city you might be in. There's usually some geo filters located around the world. So what Snapchat decided to do was, hey, we have these geo filters that are location based that we come up with at Snapchat. Maybe we should allow people to do this for their business or for their party or for their, you name it. So you can actually go into Snapchat and you can pay to have a geo filter you can just, draw an area that you wanted to show up on a map, and anybody that's inside of that area will now be able to have access to that filter. The beauty of this is it's super inexpensive, and everybody gets a chance to see that when that snap gets sent. So all the users, or all the friends of the user who's sending the snap, get a chance to see, like, oh, look, they're at this event, and maybe your business is being represented as a vendor at an event or something like that. Now you get even greater exposure and event-based marketing than you would just having a booth set up or something like that. So there are a lot of concepts with Snapchat, like there are anything, but these are just a couple of the really cool ones. I want to encourage you to try it. Get on Snapchat. You can add me at Phil Corey, and you can see some of the stuff that we do on Snapchat on a regular basis to kind of give you maybe an idea of how we use it. It's very personal. It's very in the mix of the regular day-to-day business. So we're not necessarily just doing, oh, look at this, product we created, or look at this, we're not repurposing other types of content. We're creating a whole different category of content that's going to kind of sink into our day-to-day running of the operation and marketing our business. So if you have questions or comments, or if you use Snapchat or you haven't used Snapchat, or if you're thinking about it or whatever it might be, I want to hear about it. Leave it below or above, depending on where you are in the question or in the comments for the video, and or reach out to me with your questions. And looking forward to hearing your thoughts on whether or not Snapchat can make a difference in your business. Thanks.